Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com.
So today we are going to talk about Nginx. Right? Many people call it Nginx. Many people call it Nginx, whatever. But that's not correct pronunciation. It should be called as however you call engine and then X. So it is Nginx, right? Okay. So we are going to talk about Nginx. We will talk about installation of Nginx. Right? We will see both binary based installation, that means using apt or yum, and then we will look at compilation or installation from source, right? And after installation we are going to see what are the main configuration files present for Nginx. We will see where they are installed and how the default configuration looks like, what is the directory structure, how do we start a service, how do we stop a service. So we'll do that, right? So manage Nginx, managing the service of Nginx, and then we are going to see how we can create our own web server. Right? How do we set up our own web server? Then how do we set up redirection? Right? Then we will also see at the end load balancer. What do we mean by load balancer and how does it work? Now to demonstrate load balancer, I will be running an application via Docker, okay, which will be our target application, which will run behind the load balancer. So question to you, have you guys already learned about Docker? Do you know what is a Docker container? Anupam says yes. What about others? Does everyone know what is a Docker container? Okay, looks like quite many of you. Okay, so we'll see load balancer and that will be all for the discussion. All right. Okay, now I don't have much theory here because the architecture or web server architecture, what is web server and all, we have already discussed when we talked about HTTPD, right? So I'm going to go back here and I will start a AWS instance. So let me log into my AWS account. Okay, one instance is already running. I will remove that instance. And let's create two instances. One will be Ubuntu and another will be CentOS, just so that I can demonstrate how it can be installed on both the machines. Okay, this is going to be an Ubuntu machine here. Let's name it as Nginx Ubuntu. Nginx Ubuntu. Yeah. Let's create one more instance, and that would be CentOS. Okay, that instance is now installing. Meanwhile, let's go to our Ubuntu instance here. Let's give this also name. Okay, this is a CentOS machine. This is our Ubuntu. So how do we install Nginx? Well, pretty simple. And Nginx also has a documentation on that. Yeah, installing Nginx open source. So there is Nginx commercial as well and Nginx open source as well. The commercial Nginx is called Nginx Plus. We are going to talk about the open source one. Yeah. So how to install open source? There are two ways you can install. Either you can install using an inbuilt package or pre-built package. So it's already compiled and packaged for various architectures, and you can just download and run it. Right. So if you are on CentOS, you can use the yum commands, right? So if you want to install on CentOS, you can use these commands. If you want to install on Debian based or Ubuntu based, you can run these commands, right? So you can say apt-get update, apt install nginx, and that is all. Just one command. So I will go to my instance here and I will paste this command. Is my screen visible okay? Should I zoom in or should I can also set the background color to white. Sometimes people like that. Or is it fine? Just give me a quick confirmation.
It looks fine.
Okay, it's fine then. Okay. So I will say, okay, apt get install nginx. And that is all. It's going to install nginx for us. Done. All right. And similarly, we will go back to CentOS to see more details here. Now I can say nginx, and that is a command which will start our application. It says port 80. Okay. Anyways, so nginx is installed. If I browse to my public IP here of the server, and if I just go to it, it will show me welcome to nginx. Right. As soon as you install it, it runs the application server on port 80. That's why I am not specifying port 80 because 80 is the default port for HTTP. Okay, now coming back here, let's make it bigger screen, I guess. All right, so the installation is etc nginx. This is the installation directory, right? And you can see here the main configuration file, which is nginx.conf. And inside this file, the configurations are very similar to HTTPD or Apache 2. Yeah. You see what is the user as which this application will run. Apache application also run as www-data. This also runs as the same user. Then process ID is stored here. Then it says include all the modules from this configuration file, right? In Apache, you have mods include or mods enabled. You have modules enabled here, right? And then you have the HTTP server configuration, right? So for HTTP, whatever configurations are available, they are defined here. So SSL configurations, it also includes, MIME types, right? And many other configurations, which I will not talk about in detail. But yeah, then where are your logs stored? Right? Logs are stored in war log nginx. Then you have these nginx conf d start.conf. So import all the configuration from any configuration file inside conf.d. Include sites.enabled, right? You can also set up a mail server for using nginx. All right, so if you have any email settings, you put them here. Well, email is out of scope for discussion, but yeah. So all HTTP web server application go here. Okay, now it is interesting to see what is there in the MIME types and conf.d star.conf and sites-enabled, right? So we will see that. This is the main installation file, and as we saw, war, or I'll not cd here, I'll just open it or get it. War log nginx is the log directory for nginx. So if I say print access.log, it is going to print whoever has tried to access our application. You can also tail it and follow the log for updated logs. So if I just try to access the log here several times, you will get a tailed output, right? So you can follow the logs here. And then there is error log, which is basically the event log of the application. So some errors which it threw out, right? And this was because Nginx servers were already running and I started the Nginx server manually. So ignore these errors. Now, how do you manage your Nginx servers? On Ubuntu, it is simple systemctl Nginx. Status Nginx. Systemctl status Nginx, right? And you see that Nginx application is running, right? And here is the service definition. Let's take a look at that. And it's simple, similar to what we saw for HTTPD. In HTTPD, we had Apache 2 CTL as a binary which manages our server. Here, the binary is Nginx, right? So Nginx on is for start, stop is Nginx stop, and reload is Nginx -s reload. So we can use either these service commands or we can use Nginx binary itself to manage our server. Okay. So this is our service file. And these are the most important files for Nginx. Right? Let's see how we install it on an Ubuntu machine. Sorry, CentOS machine. Let me close this. So this is CentOS. Let's connect to CentOS machine. Now the default user to connect to CentOS is CentOS. All right, this is our CentOS. All right, let's see if it is slash etc lsp hyphen release. Yep, it is CentOS 7. Okay, so on CentOS machine, the commands are simple. We go back here, go to the documentation, and if I go up, it says yum update. But before that, we have to enable EPEL release. So there is a repository called EPEL release, which enables many packages which are kind of not default available on the operating system. So if you want to install certain packages, we can say, okay, enable this repository as well, from which yum can download and install the packages. So let's do that. Install EPEL release. I'll stop this yum update because we have to do it again anyways after doing this. So now another repository is added, right, which is EPEL release. And now let's update our cache. So you can see here from the EPEL release site, it is updating the list of packages. Okay. All right. Now it's as simple as installing Nginx, yum install Nginx. And done. Nginx is installed, right? Now if I say systemctl status Nginx, Nginx is loaded and not started yet. Let's start Nginx, and the status is up, right? Let's take a look at the service file on CentOS. Vim is not installed. Let's just cat it. And you can see here also the binary is Nginx, right? So the commands differ a bit here and Ubuntu. So there is no -g daemon blah 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 here. On Ubuntu there are some more parameters to Nginx command. But yeah, if you run plain Nginx, it will start the server. Nginx-t is going to verify all your configurations. Nginx-s reload is going to reload it. Nginx stop is going to stop it. Right? Okay. This is how you install Nginx. And if I open our IP address here, it should also take us to CentOS Nginx. Right? But I'm not sure why CentOS message is displayed, but it is definitely via Nginx. We can verify this by stopping the Nginx service. Let's see if it is still displayed. It is still displayed. No, it's not displayed. See, Yeah, so that message is via Nginx. Now again, in CentOS, directory structure is also same, etc Nginx, and you have your nginx.conf and then mime types, and then you have conf.t. Right? If I open nginx.conf, a vim is not found. You can see here as well, there is HTTP, and inside that all the server related information, whatever you want. You can create servers like this and done. Yeah. Now again, the directory structure evolves over new versions of Nginx, right? Now here on, because CentOS is now out of support, nobody is developing packages for CentOS. So you can still see some older directory structure. For example, you still see the server directive here inside nginx.conf. But when we go back to Ubuntu, we will see that this directive has moved to somewhere else, right? All right, this is how you install on CentOS. Now let's also see how you can install using source, yeah, by compiling the source code. So I'm going to remove the normally installed Nginx from CentOS machine, and let's go back to the documentation. Where is it? It is here, and let's say compiling and installing from source. Right, so now we have to install from source here. So we need to download these repositories or these packages so that we can actually compile our source. So we need to download PCRE. Yeah, so it enables regular expressions. Then zip, zlib, right? So to enable gzip and OpenSSL, and then later we will install everything or compile everything by downloading the Nginx source code. So since we said Nginx is an open source, so entire source is available to us, we can compile it and install it. Right? So these are the steps you can execute. Download PCRE, download zlib, download OpenSSL, and download and install everything you have to do here, and then download the source code for Nginx, right? And then configure your build script or compile script, right? And then after that, you are done. And then you do make install, and that is all. Okay, let's do it. It may take a few minutes, but it's all right. Okay, now I'll need to look at these commands, so I'll just put them here, and CentOS, I'll make it like this. So I'll just copy the commands and follow this. So I'm going to go to my home directory, make directory nginx install or nginx source, for example, cd to nginx source directory, now download. Wget is not found. Wget um, is a command to download files over various protocols like HTTP, FTP, SFTP, and things like that. So, yeah. And FTP works on port 21, if you guys didn't know. But why is it not downloading? Let's see if this file is really available. Mm, All right, looks like this file is not available. Okay, let's ignore this file then. Let's see, zlib. All right, zlib is installed. We will untar this. And if you see the current directory, you will see that zlib is downloaded. So we'll cd into this directory and /configure. Okay, compilation error reporting is too harsh. Okay, maybe yum install gcc. Yep, gcc was not available, so we need to install the compiler as well. So you should have a very strong reason to compile from source code, and the strongest reason could be you want to actually go through the source code and see what the source code is doing. You are very security you are a security paranoid person. You want to always make sure that you know what any installed package is doing on your operating system. Otherwise, it's always a good idea to use pre-built packages, right? Okay, I did /configure. It required compiler, so unfortunately gcc is the C compiler. It's not available here, so I installed it and then say make. It is going to compile and generate our binaries, right? And say sudo make install. So make install will copy all the binaries at the required location. So you can see here, uh, it copied the libc.a to user local lib and blah, blah, blah. And that completes the compilation and installation of zlib. Similarly, we can do OpenSSL as well. So let's do that. We'll go one directory up. It is also downloaded. Now we will configure user bin env. It is bin env. Yeah. Okay, Perl. Is it installed? It needs Perl. Yum install Perl. Yes, please give me Perl. All right, /configure is done, and I do make here. Let's do this. Yep, successfully configured. Let's do make. There is an error. Error while running cc. Yep, I'm not sure what could this be. Let's not investigate more. As I said, yum is quite outdated, so maybe they are not even managing these packages. Okay, no problem. And then we are going to download the Nginx itself. Right, and then unzip the Nginx binary. Right, so this is the latest version 1.19.0. So we downloaded that, and then we run this configure command. Let's see if it complains about something. Okay. And let's copy into one notepad and fix this. Okay, we will do like this. And now while this was running,
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.